working class hero is something to be.
So we're going to talk about politics and religion. Just a little joke. Just a little joke. We'll have millions of views and 300,000 comments. Welcome to Working Class Heroes. This is Jacob with House to Home Moving. And today I have with me Ray Ward with Legacy Benefits, who is a great friend of mine, a fellow Rotarian, and owns his own business, Legacy Benefits. And he's also is the one that we use for our benefits for our employees. Please, Ray, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am the owner of Legacy Benefits and Insurance Services, and our company helps small to medium-sized businesses put together cost-effective and benefit packages so in order to hire the best and retain their employees.
Nice. That was short and sweet.
Thank you.
How did you get into the business?
Well, I've been in sales my whole career, and at one point I was moving back to Sacramento and looking for something new, and decided, it'd be fun to, work with businesses. And I started getting into the insurance business doing that, and it just kind of blossomed from there.
How long ago was that?
2001, so a couple of years ago.
A few years ago.
Yeah.
And how many businesses do you have right now? I mean, how many businesses are you doing business with? Or doing business with you, I should say.
Probably around 50 or so.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's really nice because working with small businesses is cool because of the fact that you get to learn about different businesses. So, I know about your business. I have people that do all kinds of other things, and every business is unique and their employees are different. And when you work with small businesses, you seem to get to know the employees, and it's like you're part of all these different businesses.
Absolutely. I feel the same exact way. Now, we originally met in Placer Power Partners.
Yes.
Didn't we?
Years ago.
Years ago. I thought you were a great guy back then, and I thought, you know what? I didn't own this company yet, and I thought, man, if I ever own a company, if that ever comes, I'm going to go to this guy. I'm going to use him, and then I did.
Finally could.
Yeah, I finally could. But you talked about you've been in sales and marketing pretty much your whole life.
Right.
How is that? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. When I was going to college, I was trying to find something to do, and I was working retail at an auto parts shop. Next door was a stereo shop, and back in the day, the first thing you would buy when you moved out was a stereo and a bed, right?
Yeah.
And so, right out of high school, if you knew someone that sold stereos, it was a good thing to do. So I was selling to all my friends from high school and stuff like that. And
was it that first job when you were selling stereo equipment that you learned most of your sales techniques with yourself, or?
I don't think you ever learn it completely. So through the company I was working for at the time, I had a manager that took me aside and showed me a lot of the basic techniques. But then that company also was pretty progressive. So they sent me to a one-day training class all day just on learning sales techniques. Later on, we did the Tom Hopkins. It was a 13-week program on sales, and that went much more in depth. And later on in my career, I went to the Dale Carnegie School for sales training.
Wow.
So I've gone through a lot of different courses, and then also a lot of other ones that I've picked up here or there, whether it was through audio, videotapes, and learning techniques. Because I think just like everything else in life, you got to keep learning. And things change, or else you may know stuff, but you forget to use it until you're reminded. And that's why I always like to try to take on other classes to improve my skills.
That's a good way to put it, actually, because you're right. First of all, you never stop learning. I don't ever stop learning, and I hear myself even say to my guys or to people to do things, and then I catch myself not doing it.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to sometimes see it in other people and forget that you have to do the same thing, or you just sometimes you've done it for so long and you start slipping away and moving away from something that's been successful, so that someone has to remind you that, oh yeah, that was really successful before, and you should go do it again.
Now, still staying on sales, you're a fellow Rotarian.
Yes.
What Rotary group do you belong to?
I belong to the Rotary Club of Fair Oaks.
Same one as me.
Yes.
And,
it's a great club.
It is a great club. It's a big club too. And
Yes,
it's really friendly. But you're huge in the Rotary world. I mean, everyone in every Rotary seems to know who you are, so you get around a lot, and that's important to me because numbers and sales are everything.
Right.
I mean, if you want to, I'm just boiling it down to the basics, but you get in front of thousands of people, and you're going to get business.
That's correct, but I think it's also how you approach it. You can't be out there begging for business either, because then it comes off insincere. Not sincere.
I knew what you were saying.
So you just have to do the right things, and I think the reason why almost all my referrals come from Rotary is because of the fact that I've gone out there and tried to help other people in other clubs be successful, and because they know what I do, they says, hey, that's someone I would want to work with if I need those services. So I have members of a variety of different clubs that use my services because of the fact they have the trust level that was built through Rotary, even though I wasn't promoting my business necessarily through Rotary.
Absolutely. I'm actually glad you said that, because I know, you get farther into sales and you realize it isn't about you. It's not about all that. It's about if you're giving, then everyone around you wants to give back to you.
Right.
It builds, instead of building a one-time thanks for the sell on the service or product, it builds a relationship where they're looking for work to give you.
Well, interesting story. When the Affordable Care Act first came out, one Rotarian from another club of mine called me up and asked me to help him and his wife with their insurance, and I did. And he posted on Facebook, he says, if you have any questions about health insurance and the Affordable Care Act, call Ray Ward. He's a Rotarian. And I thought that was the biggest compliment that he could have done. And I had a bunch of his friends call me because of that. So really helped me out, and I was helping out people that he knew and were his friends. So.
Absolutely. I felt that same thing when we were out before we were shooting, when we were talking about it. Just wearing my Rotary pin. Just wearing my Rotary pin, people that I'm already doing business with, they go, oh, hey, I didn't know you were in Rotary, and then all of a sudden there's this trust, a little bit bigger of a trust factor there, because they know what you're doing.
Right.
You're not in the group to sell your product. Matter of fact, we don't go in there with shirts on and stuff like that saying, hey, go with my company. Instead, you go there and you go, hey, let's plant trees in the park. Let's pick up trash on Madison Avenue. Let's, all this, and it forms everyone together more like a family. So when other Rotarians see it, they go, it's all part of the family, no matter what part of the world you're at.
Absolutely.
And it's actually felt pretty good to be in the group. I have a lot of fun with you because you're a funny guy, and I know you're a big family guy too. You've brought your daughter to Rotary. You told me that before, for a long time.
Yes. When I first joined Rotary, I didn't understand Rotary. I was just invited to join by someone that I knew really well. And so the first work project I went to, I brought my daughter along. And it's kind of a funny story that, it was clean up garbage. So like, what is this a great time to learn about Rotary? It's like picking up garbage on the side of the road. And to be perfectly honest, at the beginning, I was a little bored. So I was kind of picking up garbage, and I see about half a block up, she's with this Rotarian. And so I catch up with him, and the first thing I see is my daughter looking at me with this big smile on her face. She goes, Dad, we're finding treasures. And they were just talking and having a great time. And I was thinking, oh, this is kind of cool, And so I started talking to him. We started talking about my daughter. Now she's about a block down the road with another Rotarian. And I catch up with her, and she's just having the greatest time in the world picking up garbage. And I realized that she's around great people. She's learning to give back to the community, and this was important. From that, she got very involved in the club. She actually chaired committees when she was in junior high school. So she was learning leadership skills. She was able to talk in front of the club, and she was interacting with all these great people of all ages. And I thought it was just a great experience. In high school, she ended up being in student government. And I think it was just a wonderful experience for her. And I think that today in college, you can tell those values that she learned in Rotary, she takes with her as she's going out there and making her own way.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That really is. You're actually the one, I was nervous to bring family to Rotary. Not, my wife was one thing, but I was thinking, bring my daughter to Rotary. I'm not sure, it's all these people are way older and I don't know about it, but you told me a story about you bringing your daughter to Rotary, and it made me do it.
Right.
I was like, you know what, I'll do it to see if she likes it. She's been to like 5, 6 meetings now, and she actually really likes it. And now, if she's not there, I have every single Rotarian there going, "Where's your daughter?" They want to see her.
Because they like her.
Me.
Right. That was kind of the case in my case too. So, but
That's too funny. Yeah, so maybe I will keep her in it. That sounds like a good thing. So on the networking side of it, you built your business through networking.
right.
Tell me about like what kind of groups you are involved in. How active are you? I know you're active, but tell us what keeps you active.
Well, when you start in a lot of business, there's a lot of ways of gaining business. And probably the hardest way is, cold calling. Just knocking on doors and trying to get people to work with you. And I did some of that in the very beginning, just like everybody else, to try to jumpstart my business. And but it was never, like most people, it was not the most fun. So one of the things I found was fun was being part of different groups. Whether it was chamber groups, I was really active at one time in the Hispanic Chamber. I've been active in the Asian Pacific Chamber, in the Rockland Chamber, Roseville Chamber. So a lot of different chamber events, go to all the different chamber events, because what I think so many people do is they go once and they don't get immediate results, and they don't go back.
It doesn't work.
That's right.
Right.
So you have to continue to go in there. People got to know who you are, and make sure you're not one of those people that just come to try to steal business and walk away.
Right. And you can't come for a month. You're building momentum.
Right.
You start going. People finally start talking to you. They finally start recognizing you. Keep going, or else as soon as you drop out, that's it. No one knows who you are. They don't care anymore.
That is correct.
You'll have to always go to it. So I totally agree.
Yeah. And I think the other thing that people do wrong when they're networking is so much of the time they're so excited to talk about their business, they never listen to anybody else. So I've always told people I try not to talk about my business when I initially meet people. I want to find out everything I can about them and see if there may be some synergy that maybe we can do business in the future together, and play it that way.
And in return, make them ask.
Yes, absolutely.
What you do.
Mm-hmm.
That way they're finally interested in what you do.
Right.
Everyone wants to feel appreciated.
Absolutely.
I mean that's what you were just saying.
Yeah.
Everyone wants you to talk about them. And a lot of people forget that when they're in the sales industry. They think it's about me, about my product, about my service, and it isn't.
Right.
It's about them. And I used to say, talk to them until they go, what are you doing again? Who are you with? What do you do?
And then you'll find some people will never ask you that, and they will probably not be good partners. But from that, I get a lot of referrals from different people because we've created relationships.
Absolutely. I thought I was a networker. Going to all these meetings, and then every meeting I go to, they're like, "Oh, Ray Ward?" I know the president. Oh, Ray Ward, you know him? What? I thought I was networking. No, I'm nowhere close to you. What about you've heard the term power partners?
Right.
What are your power partners?
Well, it's all different things. Most of my power partners are in the insurance industry because we're doing the same type of things. But I work with people that do like the P&C, the property and casualty type of insurance. They're maybe worried, like in your instance, your company, need someone to insure the trucks, but they may not do health insurance, so they might be a good power partner for me. Also, even in my line of business, because I mainly work with small groups, I have a great power partner that he does Medicare supplements. So once people get to that age, I refer to him and he refers back to me. He's also in our Rotary Club, but we're exchanging referrals all the time because we're in a kind of a niche, but we're in different parts of that niche, and we can help each other out. And again, we can trust each other and know that the person that we refer over there is going to be taken care of, which is the most important part.
Absolutely.
If I come up with a name from Rotary, it's going to be a trusted individual. We know they're going to take care of us. Maybe they're not going to be any cheaper than anybody else, but we know that we're going to get the quality of service that we expect, and they're going to make sure that they do it right for us. So.
Nice. I'd like to. We do this fun thing, which is getting to know the people we interview a little bit more by asking them some questions that not everyone knows.
Okay.
That might not come up. So I have a couple randoms in here. Okay. So we'll do like 5 or 6, and they're just random questions. So don't be scared. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, first question. Who is your favorite musician?
Well, that one's easy. It's Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett?
Yeah, so I'm an old-time parrot head. Saw my first Jimmy Buffett concert in 1978.
Oh, that was when I was born. Not trying to make, just say.
We used to get there at like 8 in the morning for his concerts, party all day in the parking lot with all the other people. You had your small group of friends that grew into a huge group of friends by the end of the evening and the time the concert started, and then you'd go in and just have a wonderful time.
Yeah, you're already trashed.
Sometimes.
Okay, I gotta see. I have to see. That's a okay. I got it. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I need to listen to him a little bit more. Apparently.
Company trip.
Company trip. Jimmy Buffett. Is he still around?
Yeah, he still tours.
Wow. What is your favorite food and your least? Oh no, it's not food. I can't read. What is your favorite and least favorite word?
That's an interesting question. I've never really thought of that.
We could limit it to cuss words.
No, this is when we make the favorite list. And I try to bring this up with my daughter, is hate is probably the least favorite word. Often when people are using hate, it's a blanket statement. I hate something, and it's just a blanket group, and it's not necessarily true. And it really closes them off to see the opportunities. And I think,
Absolutely.
Probably unfavorite words, one of the things is opportunities. I think there's opportunities all over for us. And it's whether it's in your business life, in your personal life, you should be helping create opportunities for yourself as well as opportunities for others.
I love that. That's awesome. I'm excited to see what the other answers are. All right.
I hope I didn't hit high in the last one.
Elvis or the Beatles?
Ooh. Pretty big fans of both. I probably have to lean towards Elvis because I think that he's the start of it all. So you got to give him a little extra credit for that.
All right. I'll give you that one. I think I said on another one, I was like, yeah, I'm Beatles. I think it might be a generational thing.
Well, I love to do both.
Teenage angst. What's your favorite day of the week?
I don't know if I have a favorite, but I like Mondays. I'm kind of the opposite. I'd like to get things started, and I can't wait to work. I'm one of those people that just loves what I do, and loves to do it. And I'm often I'm working on the weekends too, but I love to get started, and dealing with my customers stuff like that is always a very positive thing.
How do you make everything enjoyable?
I just have that attitude that I'm going to find something good and fun in it. You're not always successful, but if you're trying, you're having more fun than if you aren't
Absolutely.
trying.
Absolutely. No, I love that attitude, and I love that Monday. Monday's going to be my new favorite now.
Good for you.
I'm gonna wake up on Monday and be like, this is the day. This is my favorite day of the week. No, I'm joking.
Sometimes you got to be careful though, because sometimes your wife won't always agree with you.
No. What's your favorite source of inspiration?
I'm always trying to do that. One of the things I did years ago was started listening to different motivational tapes and read motivational books, or read about famous people that I think are inspirational. And when I started doing that, I also found myself listening to less and less of things that were negative. So I don't necessarily watch a lot of news or anything like that. I try to keep up on the big things, but most of the time I'm looking for people that are inspirational in what they've done in their lives, and see if I can copy it or maybe learn from it.
Yeah, no kidding. That's great. Who would you like to see on the dollar bill?
Why does there have to be a change?
I don't know. I don't like that question. This is the second time I've asked that one. I'm getting rid of that one. Let's see here. Favorite holiday?
Favorite holiday? Probably be Christmas. Because especially since I've had my daughter, the excitement that she has is infectious. And I mean, she's almost 20 years old now, and she's still like a little kid, and it makes me like a little kid because I watch her. So we have to race to see who gets up first, and rushes down to see what the presents are, like that. And I think that it not only brings joy to seeing all her open her gifts, but also just the excitement she brings to the whole family when she does. So
that's awesome. Well, is there anything else that you would like to say?
I just think that I really appreciate you doing this, and I think that this is a great way for people to learn more, and hopefully they'll find some inspiration from our conversation and the other ones you're doing with other people.
I think people will. I rewatch them, and I learn from them. And when I have conversations with you, I have conversations with other people that sit down in the chair that maybe I haven't sat down and asked these questions before. And not only I understand them better, but believe me, every time I sit down, I learn something new from the person I'm sitting with, and I try to add that to my daily routine.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so it's very positive. It's been a very positive thing, and I'm going to keep doing it as long as I have these great guys that are behind the camera helping me, because you can't do anything. Yeah, because you can't do anything alone.
Right.
You have to have a team to help you in business. I think you always have to have a team that's there to support you, or else, the struggle's real if you're by yourself, and you don't want to do that, I don't think. Ray, thank you very much. I really appreciate you having us on. And remember, Ray Ward with Legacy Benefits and Insurance. He's right here. Your office is in Roseville, right?
It's in Citrus Heights.
In Citrus Heights.
Yeah.
It's right here in Citrus Heights, super local. So if you need any services like that, please give him a call, and we'll put his name and number and everything at the bottom of the film. Thank you again. I really appreciate you having on.
Thank you.
All right. I'm getting better, Cody. Yeah, thank God it's not live.